Hello, my name is Will. You might have seen me on camera, you might have not. I'm usually the one holding the camera and sometimes I'm on TikTok live. Today, they decided to throw me an SUV review because I don't know, maybe they're lazy to do it. I don't know why lah. I also guess it's because it's growing in popularity among Singaporeans and for good reason, right? Everybody loves SUVs. They like the size, they like the comfort, they like the drive, and sometimes they like the style. But it comes with two very big problems, right? It's usually very expensive, hefty price tag. And the other thing is, when you have an SUV, right, usually you need to find like empty parking lot, you know, beside got nobody one. You need to go and chicholo, go and find, which is kind of a bummer. So, where does the Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross come amongst all of these questions? Let's find out. Now, before we get on to the review, did you know that if you trade in your car, you could be earning $5,000 less? Using SG Carpark codes, you get many dealers bidding for your car, ensuring you get the best price possible. And they are so confident in bringing you the best price to sell a car that if you find a better price outside, they will give you $100. Don't just take our word for it, look at the hundreds of raving reviews of their service. To find out more, visit quotes.com.sg. That is quotz.com.sg. Now let's get back to the review. So over here, the Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross has been facelifted in 2021. So I'm gonna ask my editor to include a picture of the old Eclipse Cross here. And this is what it looks like now. And as you can see, there are actually very minor design changes to the overall look of the car, especially up front. So first off, you get this matte black grille. So no longer the full chrome thing that they were going for last time. As well as this chrome bit over here that's kind of reminiscent of the current Artrage as well. You get daytime running lights that come in LED, as well as the headlights are also in LED. However, this is only exclusive to the higher spec variant or the style variant. If you get the base variant, you get halogen lights. So if you're into those kind of things, probably something worth taking note of. You also get these nice sharp lines that kind of accentuate the size of the car. But personally, for me, I feel like it still looks a little bit fat, a little bit chubby. But then again, this is an SUV, so I guess looking fat, looking big is kind of the look they're going for here. So in that sense, good job. To me, let's check out the side. So over on the side of the Eclipse Cross, Mitsubishi was going for a coupe SUV look. So if you can't really tell, that's probably because there are a lot of sharp lines going towards the back. So it's not sloping that much. And to me, I would give it a 5 out of 10 because I don't think it looks that good. But A for effort though, you also get 18-inch wheels for the higher spec variant, which I think makes the car look really good. And because they are bigger, it elevates the car slightly, so it gives it a stronger, bigger road presence. So I think the 18-inch wheels are a good investment for the Eclipse Cross. Now let's check out the boot. The Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross is priced from $153,000 to $163,000. The 1.5-litre turbocharged engine produces 126 brake horsepower and 250 Nm of torque. The 8-speed CVT transmission brings the car from 0 to 100 km per hour in 9.7 seconds. For more details on the Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross or any other car, head on to sgcarma.com to help you make the smart choice on your next car. Now, at the back of the Eclipse Cross, one of the facelift changes that they have done is that they have removed that godforsaken light bar thing, whatever nonsense thing on the previous generation, and now it is clear and it looks so much better. Good job, Mitsubishi. And it provides a lot of visibility when you're driving, as you'll see later on. So, thumbs up! Boot space. You get 405 liters of boot space. Not a lot, but enough. It doesn't quite pass the anti-trolley length test though. As you can see, the handle here is a bit in the way. But honestly speaking, you get quite a bit of space over at the boot. You also get a parcel shelf that you can extend and remove and store it in one of the compartments here. You get 60/40 seats, and thank God you don't have to go to the rear seats to knock them down. You can just unfold them over here. And you can have a relatively flat boot floor. One major complaint is that it's a little bit high. Honestly, there's nothing in here. I don't know why it's so high. There's no battery, it's not a hybrid, it's not anything. Why is it so high? I don't know, but I guess that's why I'm not a designer at Mitsubishi. Let's go check out the rear seats. Now here in the back seats of the Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross, as you can see, I'm getting quite a bit of space all around. Now the front seat has been adjusted to my comfortable driving position, and I'm about 1.8 meters tall. So you can see quite a bit of knee room, quite a bit of wiggle room for my feet, as well as some headroom. I am slouching a little bit, but personally I like to slouch because I don't have perfect posture. But if I were to sit upright, I still get more knee room, I still get the same amount of wiggle room for my feet, but headroom's a little bit compromised, like I can barely put my fingers in there. But it's part of the SUV coupe look, I guess. In terms of amenities, you get a magazine pouch, you get the cup holders for the middle seat, as well as ISOFIX points. One major complaint that I have, or rather two major complaints that I have, is that there are no aircon vents, which for a car of this size, you kind of expect there to be aircon vents, and it kind of sucks that it doesn't. But my biggest complaint is the fact that it comes with a 12-volt socket. Who uses a 12-volt socket? Like, that's not something that makes sense. You don't even use it in the front seat. Why would you use it in the back seat? At least a USB port. If there's a USB port, I can just plug my USB fan in and blow myself, pretty much. Instead, there's no aircon vents, there's a 12-volt socket, and these are just things that I don't meddle with on a daily basis. Now, for the middle passenger, honestly speaking, I'm actually quite surprised at how much I can fit in the middle seat. Shoulder room is slightly compromised, but not by a lot. This is of course an SUV, so you do get a little bit more space. But wiggle room for my feet. I have relatively big feet, and because this is a front wheel drive, there's essentially no transmission tunnel, and I can see myself taking this car from Pasir Ris to Jurong, no problems, no comments. Onto the front seat. On the front cabin of the Eclipse Cross, everything feels really good. However, I need to point out that for some strange reason, right, the driver's seats and the front passenger seat sit a lot lower than the rear seats, which is kind of weird from a design standpoint. Yeah, you can just tell just based from my legs alone that this sits a lot lower, which is weird. Very much so. Let's go for a drive. Now on to the bigger points. Everything here feels really good to the touch. There are quite a bit of hard plastics, but to be honest, these are hard plastics that will last you the full 10 years. The soft touch points, however, are at the touch points that you actually touch. Like the word says, touch points. So you get touch points here where you rest your elbow. You get a touch points here as well. And they feel really good. And to be honest, I don't really need a leather-clad steering dashboard. All these, I'm not gonna be touching this anytime soon. And it's good to like stick, you know, like all your nonsense thing, all your barang-barang, all your talisman here. Yeah, and it would probably tahan, and that's a good thing. So you get your infotainment screen, which is 8-inch, and it comes with wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which to some people they find it a bit annoying, but personally for me, I prefer having the wires. It just makes for a better connection, but that's just my personal preference. Down over here, you get your aircon controls. Very intuitive. You don't have to second guess what your aircon controls are all about. Your off, your fan, your temperature. Pretty straightforward. And right below that, you get your USB ports over here. And right below that is this small little space that cannot fit any kind of a phone. Here's me proving a point, yeah? This is an iPhone 12 mini. If I were to put it like sideways, right, it barely fits, like just barely. And my phone cover is not that thick. And most people have bigger phones than I do. So to be honest, I don't really see a point in having this cup holder being there. So thank you JJ. JJ's Galaxy phone flip, folding phone, whatever. See here, it doesn't even fit. It doesn't even rest. It's not even resting in the hole, which is a little bit annoying. And you cannot fit it like lengthwise as well, because it juts out and it hits the heated seats button. And when you're going over and grabbing things, it's just not ergonomic, and I feel like it could have been done better. So over here is your gear shifter. Feels good, looks good. Your parking brake, your auto hold button, and your cup holders, where I just throw my phone because that's useless. And yeah, everything else here feels really good. It's not premium, it's not luxurious, you don't feel like a king, But then again, it's more than functional. Yes, you don't get a digital instrument cluster. The rev counters as well as the speedometer are still analog. The only thing that's digital is things like showing your petrol, your fuel consumption, which doors are open. But it's still readable. It's not like I cannot see what's going on. And I think that's fine. All in all, I think this car feels good enough for its price point of about $160,000. This is what you're expecting from an SUV, and it still feels good. Now, let's go for a drive. So the Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross, what does it feel like on the road? Well, 163 brake horsepower and 250 Newton meters of torque. It goes from 0 to 100 in about 9.7 seconds. These are not game-changing numbers. These are not EV numbers, and you are not going to get instant torque, especially from a CVT transmission. However, if you just look away from the numbers, right, when you do need to overtake at highway speeds, it's completely fine, and these are numbers that do just well. You don't need, 1,000 brake horsepower. Nobody needs 1,000 brake horsepower, especially in Singapore. And regardless of whether or not you're driving on the highways or on normal roads, these figures do just enough for this car, especially, that you don't really have to worry about when you need to overtake, whether or not you need more space to overtake, even though this is an SUV. And when it comes to comfort, going through like road undulations as well as all the bumps and ruts and all the nonsense thing on the road, this car soaks it up quite well. It is a very comfortable drive. Now here's a little fun fact. Personally, at home I drive an Attrage, like my family's car is an Attrage, and I was kind of using that as a benchmark for what this car could do in terms of comfort, and I have to say that I am very surprised. This car, while there is some lacking in numbers, does really well in comfort. So for instance, when you're going through bumps, you don't really feel any of the bumps when you're going on the road. It's not like you're gonna cause you back pain driving this from here to Malaysia. It's really all fine, it's really all comfortable. And one thing to note is that this insulates noise very well, and I think that's kind of a big surprise, because like everybody's like, oh, Mitsubishi, oh, the quality, oh, not good. You can barely hear anything. You do get a bit of tire noise, but that's because this car comes with 18-inch wheels. But other than that, honestly, even when you're overtaking, you maybe just barely hear the engine noise, and I think that's fine. That's already saying a lot, given that this is a CVT transmission. So before you all say like, oh, Mitsubishi blah 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 blah, honestly, this car drives very comfortably, and I'm very surprised. So one major gripe that I have regarding this car is that while it does come with the auto hold function, right, the car will sometimes like auto start by itself, and I'm not pressing on the pedal. You see my leg, I'm not pressing on the pedal or anything. I don't know if you felt that, if you caught that, but it will just start jerking, and to me there is that sense of unrefinement in the car, and I think these are one of the areas that is kind of lacking in, that I feel like could be done better. There are cars out there that do auto hold a lot better, just not this car. So the big question, is the Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross a will buy, won't buy, or go try? Well, for me, it is a go try. Now before y'all start like typing on a comment, hey, this new host also, is he scared to make the client angry, or every car also go? Before y'all say that, right, let me justify it. This car is a go try for one very good reason, and that is its price point. At about $160,000, right, for a medium-sized SUV, right, you're kind of getting every money's worth, each of your dollars worth. There are obviously more expensive cars that do better, but you see the word there is more expensive. So what is your budget, right? If you're looking at it from a medium SUV standpoint, you need a medium SUV. You love medium-sized SUVs. This car is probably a will buy when you get it. But if you're looking at it purely from a price point standpoint, meaning you don't care like this car SUV, this car convertible, this car hatchback, this car sedan, you don't care about all those things, there are cheaper cars out there that do better, that offer maybe smaller space but offer a little bit more in terms of refinement, in terms of amenities, in terms of drive quality. There are cheaper and better cars out there. But if you are looking at it from a medium-sized SUV standpoint, I think the Eclipse Cross gives you your money's worth for each dollar you pay. Yes, there are some areas that it's lacking. There's no doubt about it. However, that's kind of why we say go try, or that's kind of why I say go try. Because I feel like the moment you step into this car, you kind of already know what are the things you can live with and the things you cannot live with. I can live with not having rear aircon vents. I can live with not having a leather-filled dashboard, because those are the things that don't mean anything to me. What is important to me is looks and the drive quality, and I kind of feel like the Eclipse Cross ticks all of those boxes, and that's why for me it's a go try. So that is the end of the Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross review. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to comment down in the comment section below and let us know whether or not you will buy, won't buy, or go try the Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification button so that you'll be notified every time we upload a new video. Also follow us on TikTok at SGCarMart. You'll see me there more often than you'll see me here probably, and do give it a follow because you know it helps me earn more money, I guess. Yeah, give it a follow, then I can change my car to a better car lah. Anyways, that's it for the video. Hope you have a good day. This is Will signing off. Bye bye. It's because I naturally keep like looking at the camera. I keep slouching because I keep looking at the camera. Then the further I look right, I was like, why are you doing this here?